Good morning, everyone. I am back again today this morning. We are continuing to talk about your credit score and different factors that affect your score and how to deal with them. So if this is the first video in the series that you're checking out, I have already done a couple of videos, one on late payments and one on credit utilization. So if you're curious about either one of those topics, go ahead and go back in the feed and you'll find those videos there. Today, the topic that I am going to be talking about is derogatory marks. So what a derogatory mark is, when we talked about late payments, that's actually a type of derogatory mark is late payments, but they kind of address those, on their own. The other types of derogatory marks that I'm going to be talking about today are a lot more serious than just a missed payment. So the ones we're talking about today, like they're still going to affect your credit for 7 to 10 years. And these things are, can be pretty serious stuff. So the types of derogatory marks that you could see against your credit score on your report would be things like a bankruptcy, a loan that has gone to collections, a tax lien. It could be a debt settlement. Maybe you were less than what you owed, but it still shows up on your credit report. So these are the types of things that are going to be showing up there. They're generally kind of a big deal. They really are going to put a big dent into your credit score, right? And so the thing with these derogatory marks is, first of all, we want to avoid getting them at all, right? You want to keep up on payments. You want to make arrangements with your creditors if you're starting to get into trouble, but sometimes they're unavoidable. Sometimes there's something that you swore you paid and it ends up in collections and you didn't get the mail because your address had changed, or, there can be other reasons why things maybe fly under your radar. So the best thing you can do as far as derogatory marks go is pull your credit report. And you can do that at freecreditreport.com, I believe is the website that you can go to. And you can request one free report from each bureau once a year. So there are 3 major credit bureaus, and you can request once a year from each of them. So if you stagger it and you request one every 4 months, you can see your credit report every 4 months forever, because you just keep rotating through, right? So the best thing you can do is pull your report and review it. And look for errors. Sometimes things are mistakes. Sometimes things were reported and they shouldn't have been. So that's kind of the first step of line of defense for you, is to get on and review your report and see if there's anything that is a mistake. And then if there are derogatory marks on there that are correct, maybe it is something that went to collections, maybe at some point you did declare bankruptcy, depending on what it is, if it's a collections account, pay it, address it, get a hold of the collection agency and work out a plan. Because if you don't take care of it, it's just going to sit there and continue to hurt your credit. So the sooner you can clear it up, the better. I don't know if you guys can hear Wendy on there. So that's what you want to do for those. Some things like a bankruptcy, it happened, it's on your report, you just have to wait it out. You just have to take your time and focus on every other part of your credit score that you can control to help improve that credit. And yeah, there's all a variety of different things. It could be, lots of different, it could be a tax lien even, it could be maybe a foreclosure on a mortgage. These are some serious things where maybe you really had a tough point and, it ended up on your credit report. And those things happen. It is going to have a big effect. One of the interesting things I read is that a derogatory mark is actually going to have a bigger impact on a high credit score than a low credit score. So if you're already kind of on the lower end of credit, lower end with your credit score, maybe you're only in like the 500 or 600s, and you have a derogatory mark, they're not gonna, kick you while you're down. It's kind of the impression that I got, that it's not gonna, really affect you. But if you're somebody that has a high credit score, maybe you're in the 700s, even up into the 800s, depending on, different scores kind of have different ranges. And you end up with something that goes to collections, or you end up, with one of these other things, it's really going to tank your credit score, right? It's going to have a big impact if you've already got a high score. So if you are, working your way up there and getting up into the higher ranges, you really want to avoid any of these things ending up on your report, right? So this is a way for creditors to know that you're keeping on top of things, that you are, paying off your stuff, that you're not letting things just kind of go by the wayside. And I think where people tend to get into, this area where they have these derogatory marks on their report is, maybe you had something really extreme happen, you lost your job, you had a crisis going on, And when those things happen, it's very easy to get overwhelmed and to just let things go. So that's kind of the impression that I get, is that, you get overwhelmed, you let it go, and then you just try and ignore it and pretend like it's not there, right? But really, all that's going to do in the long run is hurt you if you continue to, kind of put your head in the sand and not look at it. So, if you're at that point where you think you maybe have some of these marks, like I said, step one, pull your credit report and look at it just to see if it's accurate. Maybe they reported something that isn't exactly true. And you can get on and you can start looking into how to dispute those and to get things kind of back on track. So that was my topic for today, derogatory marks on your credit report. One of the factors that goes into it. At this point, we've covered 3 out of the 6 factors that I will be going over. So keep your eyes peeled. There will be more videos to cover the rest of the things that go into your credit score. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up or shoot me a comment, shoot me a message. Let me know that you're liking these topics, that it's, relevant to you guys. If there's anything you'd like me to see me do a video on later on, let me know. I will talk to you guys soon.